Welcome to the channel. This is my real trading journey. And if you've stumbled upon this channel or you're here for the first time, well, I know that you're going to get a lot of benefit from this channel. I guarantee you're going to get value. And so if you're tired of all the fluff and all the noise and all the nonsense and you want to keep it real, see real trades, real lessons, real growth, the good, the bad, and the ugly, then please consider hitting that like button, subscribing, and feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. Again, the good, the bad, the ugly. But with that said, let's get to the 25K day trading challenge. So, the question to begin with is just, can I actually do this? I just wanted to challenge myself. If you don't know, I've been trading for about 2 years and I started to break even and see some profitability. And so I wanted to just push myself a little bit to take it to the next level. Mind you, I've been trading for 2 years part time. So I'm not a full time trader. I still have a job. I go to work. Maybe many like you can relate to this, but I'm still learning. I thought about quitting my job. I thought about like doing this full time, but I thank God that He intervened and prevented me from doing it because I was not ready and I still have a lot to learn. But with that said, the 25K day trade challenge is basically in the year of 2026, I want to make 25K. That's the goal. I'm using a margin account, and the daily goal is about $100 a day, which equates to about 2,100 a month. Now, mind you, there's about 250 trading days, but on average, that's the number I came up with. And so I'm just trying to document my journey. Again, real trades, real results, and show you how I've done so far. So let's get to it. January was a pretty good day. I didn't meet my goal, but I made money. I made $800.67 roundabouts. But along that way, I made a lot of mistakes. And these mistakes haunted me all the way to the end of the month leading into February. And it's really when I hit a wall. It's really when my past caught up with me. And I'm glad it did because whatever the devil means for evil, I always believe God means for good. And so in February, it was bad. As you can see here, I could not even trade for most of the month. And that's because I was bag holding. I was over leveraged, oversized. I had trouble cutting my losses. I had trouble um, putting stops. And these are mistakes that I carried over even prior to this challenge. And it just exemplified it more and more, especially now that I'm tracking my trades, especially now that I'm really trying to utilize the resources that I have. And I could see how much it hindered me. It hindered me so much that when the market turned against me, or should I say, even the particular stocks that I was trading, and at the time of this recording is February 28th, 2026. But if you are aware of SoFi and what it's doing right now, it's on a dramatic uh, downtrend since its earnings, and I had a considerable amount of shares in that stock, and I still do, and I'm bag holding that stock. Open Door was another stock that I was bag holding. Um, Bitfarm is another stock that I'm bag holding, and so these mistakes is really what is causing me and has caused me to be in the situation that I'm in. But thankfully, I was able to get my account in good standing. I did have to put some money into it just to be able to continue to trade. Otherwise, really, this challenge should be over because I would have got margin called. My PDT limit would have been breached, and this challenge would have been over. But thankfully, I was able to put money into the account. So now I'm operating beyond the 30K. But with that, I just didn't want to sell my positions for a loss. And with SoFi, I just have to hold it. And unfortunately, that's part of me not knowing how to use a margin account properly. And again, over leveraging, oversizing, bag holding. And so that's what went on this month. This month was a catastrophe. This month is the worst trading I've done in quite some time. And all I can say is my past caught up with me. Now, if you make mistakes in trading, it's going to catch up with you. You may get good results, you may get away with it for a short period of time, but when things come together, it's almost like they say the perfect storm comes together. It's disastrous because your ship is going to sink, you're going to capsize, and it's going to be over. So it's better, and I'm thankful that even though I went through all that, that it's going to be addressed, and it has been addressed right now. It has been addressed. And I could tell you the silver lining in this whole thing, because as you can see at the end of this month, this is the best week that I've had so far. Consistent. After I lost about $3,000, $3,400, it was a wake up call. It was a wake up call. And truthfully, these losses were just me being impulsive and being stupid. I was bag holding, for instance, Open Door, and they had earnings. They had earnings on Thursday. And so I was bag holding it. And some impulsive thought came to me where I was like, oh, I got buying power now. Let me average down. And I averaged down. And I actually, it worked out. Instead of losing thousands of dollars, I only lost like, I could have just lost a few $100s. But impulsively, after I did that, I just started to overtrade, FOMO, thinking like, oh, I think actually this is gonna break out. I think it's gonna break out, and I don't know what happened. I just caught myself overtrading, oversizing, going YOLO, and it just went down, 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 and it squeezed in after hours, and I was able to catch a little bit of that, but I shouldn't have had this big loss here. And again, Open Doors really messed with me this month because this other loss was also from Open Door, and it was the same thing. I just felt like, okay, I felt comfortable going big, and this is it. Like, I need to go big. And I told myself, I'm going to go big. And I went big and I lost big. And so I had really no strategy, no self control. I just went on tilt. I think I was revenge trading. Revenge trading. After this loss, I wanted to get it back. Instead, I lost another G. So this is the worst scenario that could ever happen, and it happened. But again, my eyes woke up to the truth and the reality that I needed a change. That I'm not gonna succeed and move forward and reach my goals if I didn't make a change. And the change is within me. The change is within me. The problem is me. It's like the reality is day trading is hard. We know this. The reality is only 5% make it. And I want to be part of that 5%. If you're watching this video, I think you probably want to be part of that 5%. And if you don't, then you should just quit. It's harsh, but look, 95% fail. 95% fail. And it's because it's a hard reality that day trading is brutal. I just showed it to you. Day trading is brutal, okay? You can lose a lot of money. And yes, you can make a lot of money, but it's going to take time. And that's the part that we have to be real about, is that we have to take our time. So I have a dream, I have a goal, and I'm like, I'm gonna make 2,100 every month, and I'm keeping it real. I feel like 100 a day is not too hard and too far out of reach, but I need to get grounded that I need to trade better. I need to get grounded that the change needs to take place within me. And so that's why I began to look in the mirror. And in doing so, because trading psychology is such a big part of trading, and you can watch a lot of these videos. I've watched tons of videos, trading psychology. Why do we do what we do? And I'm taking it a step further and looking into the spiritual aspects of trading. And that's because, in my perspective, in my background, in my way of life, I look at things spiritually. Like, I believe in God. I walk with God every day. I try to live out my life according to His Word, according to the Bible. And when I go into trading, it's like, why am I detaching myself from the reality in which I live in? If I'm living seeking after God, why am I going to distance myself from God when I'm doing this thing that is one of the most difficult things to do in the world? One of the hardest professions to succeed in. Again, statistically, 90 to 95% fail. And so I can't do it on my own. And looking at the mirror after reviewing my trades, reviewing the situation and the circumstances, I came to a conclusion that I can't do it. I can't do it on my own. And I think sometimes that's the best place to be. When you finally say, I can't do it, I give up, and you depend on a higher power, you depend on God, who is able to do all things, who is in control of all things, and you trust that He can do what is impossible for you to do, enable you to do it. It's an empowering thing, actually. It's actually the way I live my life, because there's many things in life that I can't do apart from God. The Bible says you can do no good. And so this is just another aspect of what it means to follow after God. When you're in trading, and when I begin to trade, I begin to acknowledge God. And so I take time to acknowledge Him in everything I do in my life, in my personal life. I take time to seek God for wisdom and for guidance. And so now when I go into trading, before I start trading, while I am trading, I am acknowledging God in every decision that I make. And I trust that He's going to watch over me and protect me and safeguard me from doing the wrong things. And so that actually has helped me, because as you can see, the last week of this month, I have had the most consistency and the most profit. Last month, I made $1,866 for the whole month by the grace of God, because I was making all types of mistakes still. And in a matter of 1 week, I made $1,276 consistently. I had to get my act together, and should I say, only doing that because of God. I had to turn to Him and ask for His help, because I couldn't do it on my own. And I began to just acknowledge Him in every decision that I make. I said, God, give me wisdom, give me guidance. Lord, help me have self-control. Let me to have patience. help me to have discernment, all these different thoughts. And I begin to now include him into my thoughts. Whereas previously, thoughts would come in, impulses would come in, and there was no barrier or hindrance or protection that would tell you, hey, 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 what are you doing? Hey, 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 what's going on? Now, if you trade with a pod, if you trade with a team, that could be a beneficial thing. But again, I'm a part-time trader. I go to work and I only have a limited time to trade. And so I don't have a risk manager tapping me on my shoulder like, hey, 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 what are you doing? You know, but now I do because I have God and I always had him. It's just I didn't acknowledge him. And so now when I'm see myself like, okay, I want to FOMO, I want to get into this, or am I forcing this trade? And he's like, yo, just relax. It's okay. Don't push it. And I'm telling you, it's made a difference. And so again, the proof is in the pudding. It's right here. 1,276 in 1 week. And the numbers are relative, mind you. Of course, some people make more, some people make less. But for me, this is one of my personal bests, especially in this challenge. And I met the goal above and beyond $100 each day, and even got beyond 300 in 2 days. And so it's beyond the monetary. Another aspect that I believe took place that shifted is that I began to basically, like it says in Proverbs 16:3, commit my work to the Lord, and my plans will be established. And when I began to commit my plans to Him, I began to focus on Him and not the money. And I realized that I was focused more on the money. I was focused more on trying to get that money and obsessed that I have to get it, and frustrated that I wasn't getting it, frustrated that I lost it, I revenge traded. And all these things factor into when you focus on money and not God. Because when you focus on God, in reality, the money's gonna come. The money's gonna come because when you focus on God and you commit yourself to Him, when you look in the mirror, you begin to reflect God. Now you begin to reflect His character. You begin to reflect His patience. You begin to reflect His wisdom. You begin to reflect His self-control, right? You don't want to FOMO. You don't want to be greedy. You don't want to be impatient. These are the things that reflect back to you now that you're focusing on God. But when you're focusing on money, your goal is no longer on Him, but on yourself. And when it's on yourself, you will always let yourself down. And for some people, this may sound like backwards. This might sound foreign. But again, it's the truth. Because we have a sinful nature. And the Bible says that we have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. It's just natural for us to sin. And so when we trade, we bring that with us. That's why it gets amplified when these emotions come. And we may not think that we are a certain way. We might not even know that we're impulsive. We might not know that we have these tendencies. But it's a beautiful thing, actually, when the market amplifies what's inside of you. And when you realize it, you need to take a step back and look in the mirror and say, how am I going to change this? Now, I know, like I said, trading psychology says you got to develop atomic habits. You got to have a positive mindset and meditate and whatever. There's all types of trading psychology. But what I'm trying to say is on the spiritual aspect of things, which is psychology, because it's in the mind. Because whatever comes into your mind becomes ideas, become thoughts, become actions. These thoughts, ideas, and actions become strongholds that are now a part of you, and you may not be aware of it. So when you go into trading, you begin to hopefully recognize this in your patterns of behavior. And so spiritually, this is the mirror. Spiritually, this is why, again, we need to look at ourselves inwardly and spiritually and look to the one who can help us. And so when I commit my work to the Lord in this aspect of day trading, I say, God, help me, your will be done. And I pray that when I focus on you and not money, that you give the increase. And so I made a video on the third day, 3 green days. And I was like, wow, 3 green days. And now at the end of the week, 5 green days. It's the best week I've had so far in this challenge. And God willing, we'll see how the rest of the month goes in March moving forward. I've learned a lot. It seems like things are unlocking in my brain, and I'm beginning to trade a lot better. I know that I still have a lot of work to do. I notice certain moments when I get anxious and I want to force a trade, and I thank God that He's helping me to recognize that and stepping back away from the trade, just being patient. I also being more having more self-control to try to cut losses and have rules, because when we break rules, it's just like us sinning. And when you look at it in that way, I mean, it is us sinning. When we break a rule, it means we're not following a rule. So we're sinning. And it helped me look at it in that way, because again, the market is a mirror. And so I just wanted to take time again to recap the trades that I took this month, or my progress of how I did this month. I lost, I'm still down $2,132 this month. And for the challenge, I'm down 4,200. But the silver lining is I had a great end of the week of this month. I've learned so much moving forward. It's still early in the year, and I just thank God for the opportunity to be able to move forward in this challenge. And I hope that you'll follow me in this process, that you'll continue to watch the videos. Again, I'd appreciate you hitting and smashing that like button. Please consider subscribing and leave a comment. Let me know what you think, what you struggle with, how you deal with your challenges. And, we're in this together. Again, only 5% make it. And I believe that these videos are going to give you value. My journey is going to give you value, because it's real with no fluff. It's just the reality of the process and the progress. And so again, I hope you found value in this. And if you did, tune in next time, like, subscribe, and as always, God bless. Yes.